you're watching Below the Line with us is costumer Ginger Knussman. Now, Ginger, what kind of time is needed to prepare for a shoot? A TV, commercial, or a feature film?
It really varies on the project. A lot of times commercials have a tendency to be very fast and furious. You could get a call, you know, a few days before the shoot day in order to prepare. So you really have to be fast on your feet and know where to go to get what you need. Commercials are really fast and furious. Movies, it just depends on, you know, how much prep time. Sometimes you'd have 2 weeks to a month to prep. You know, period films have a tendency to have a lot more prep time because of the length of time you need for fittings and whatnot. So it just varies project to project.
Now, sometimes the wardrobe department holds on to the actor's payment voucher. Why do they do that?
They do that as sort of a collateral because, especially on a period film, the clothes are very fragile and very expensive. You know, a lot of times, like say if some of the wardrobe was from the 1860s, those clothes are truly authentic and genuine to that time era. So it's very expensive to replace them. So wardrobe will keep a payment voucher in order to have a collateral. If the clothes are not returned, the talent will not receive their voucher back, so therefore they won't get paid. So if they don't, you know, return their clothes, they won't get paid for the day.
Now, when a feature film comes to the area like Leatherheads or The Conspirator, the costume designer has shipped you the costumes. Explain the process of getting those costumes unpacked and ready for fittings.
Generally, you know, all the wardrobe is shipped in from Los Angeles, or, you know, we've had shipments from London, or all the clothes are shipped in, and we just kind of do an inventory and a check to make sure that everything that we were supposed to receive, we received. And so all of those clothes are then put into the actors' closets, and it's organized in ways where we can go find everything that we need when we need it. And then, you know, the background, all the clothes are sorted according to characters or, you know, what their roles might be. And so therefore, you create this giant closet for the actors in the background where you kind of pull from for the fittings.
What responsibilities does the actor have once they are given these clothes to wear?
Keeping up with their stuff. A lot of times, you know, some actors are very conscientious and careful of this. It takes a great costumer to also be very aware and conscientious and pay attention to where an actor is or where their hat is. Because, you know, it's very easy to take a hat off and just sit it down wherever you're sitting, and then you know, someone calls you and you go have a conversation. You're like, oh, wait, where did I put my hat? So keeping up with those is really important.
And what advice would you give to someone who wants to get into all this?
You know, I would just advise people to follow their passion and what makes them happy, and really work hard and enjoy what they're doing. You know, it takes someone who's really flexible and quick on their feet, and this industry can be hard at times because your work is just being able to go with the flow and know that you'll be provided for even when times get slow. Just know that the next project is in the works, and, you know, just to really love what you do and enjoy it while you're doing it.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Such great information.
Yeah, it was really fun. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you for coming. Coming up next, you'll meet a Hollywood costume designer who's created classic looks and is designed and dressed for your favorite stars. Find out who they are, but first, feature filmmaking continues in Charlotte with a romantic comedy from Emulsion Arts. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at Redneck Roots.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hawk, writer-director of Redneck Roots, and welcome to the set. It's a story about a woman who's returning to her hometown. She's gone off and gotten an MBA and a really great job, and she's got a wonderful boyfriend and a neat life, and she has to go home for a family obligation. Her boyfriend pursues her back to her small country town, unbeknownst to him that she has redneck roots.
91 Echo, take 3, Mark.
Today we have Dean Napolitano, and he's playing the lead of Ben, the jealous boyfriend in pursuit of his girlfriend. Jeff Hamrick, who plays Daryl Pig, he's the local boy, and he has Tourette's and irritable bowel syndrome.
Take 2, Mark.
Then we have Mitzi Corrigan, who's playing Ben's mother, who's pursued him into the country. She's trying to find out what happened to her son. And then we also have Officer Davies, played by Stephen Ware, who's a veteran actor, and he's a good old Southern sheriff.
And mark it, please.
91 Echo, be Mark.
Stand by. And action.
Benjamin, talk to me. Who did this to you? Bad boy. Oh.
As a Los Angeles area fashion designer, she quickly became known for her original styles. With Hollywood just around the corner, her creative reputation paved the way for her to enter the studios and sound stages. Please welcome costume designer Shawnelle Cherry. How are you, Shawnelle? Good, welcome, have a seat. Welcome to Below the Line. We're so excited to have you. I know you've been busy out in Los Angeles doing all sorts of movies. Now, tell us the beginning how you got involved in design work.
I was a fashion designer for about 15 years. I had a design studio where I did evening gowns and a lot of red carpet gowns. Went through a little bit of burnout in the mid. I was kind of checking out what costume design was about. I had a lot of friends that were costume designers, but it's kind of a hectic job and I wasn't sure I was up for it. And just started doing student films and decided that I loved it.
What was the connection that got you into the movies, as they say?
I took a great class called Flash Forward, and it was a 1-month intensive where they put us, there was hundreds of people there, and they'd put us into groups of 10. And on my team were a director and a producer. The director's name was Cherry Norris from North Carolina, and also John Duffy, and they were putting together a movie called Duty Dating, and it just kind of went, and it was probably one of my hardest films I ever did because the lead actress had 53 changes alone.
So what's the process? How does a costume designer kind of get out there and try to get on movies and TV shows?
It's all a business of relationships, meeting people that are love the craft, making movies, and who are have one in the pipeline, and just showing them your ideas, and you kind of have to click with the director and the producers, and it's all just knowing your craft for starters, and doing good on each job that you do, and then just building relationships as you go along. So.
Now, how closely do you work with the actual director of the film or the production designer? Do you get together
closely.
And try to figure out colors and fabrics and costumes, and how does that work?
The director I work very closely with. We have some directors that are really into their characters and want, are really, into it. Making sure that when that actor walks on the stage, you know who they are before they even say a word. Then you have some directors that just let you do what you want to do and are not too costume oriented. The production designer I work with a lot as far as colors, making everything kind of unified. A set, one of on that movie Duty Dating, I had a great rust colored jacket for one of my actresses, and we get to set and we find out the whole set is rust. So it was a quick, where's that turquoise jacket? But in that production designer, we didn't work so closely together, and then I really learned from there that I just, and if we don't work together, just ask them questions and get to know what their visual plan is, because it's a lot harder to change a set than it is to costume. So I just kind of work with them. But the last film I worked on, Without a Paddle, Nature's Calling, the production designer and I, we were so cohesive. We were always like, you're reading my mind, so my colors offset her colors, and it was great. And then I'm working with her again on the show. It's a digital series called 10,000 Days, where we're doing Ice Age clothes. So there's no pretty clothes there.